Hey everyone, how are you? In this video, we are going to solve the Leetcode problem of the day, and the problem is maximum frequency of an element after performing operations part 1. In this problem, we are given an integer array nums and two more integers as an input, which is k and num operations. The problem says that you have to perform an operation num operations number of times on the given array nums, and in each operation what you have to do is you have to just select an index I that was not selected in any previous operation from the array nums, and we have to add an integer which is within the range of -k to +k to our nums array. So basically the question says that you have to perform some operations, num operations number of times. So for the example number 1, we can say that we have to perform the operation 2 number of times, and in each operation you have to select an element of your array that was not previously selected in any operation. So if you have to perform two operations, you will select two unique data or two unique numbers from the nums each time, and you will perform the operation on it. The operation is to add the integer which is within the range of -k to +k to that particular element. So if the value of k is 1, you can add from -1 to 1. That is, you can add -1, 0 and 1, either of this number, to your selected number in your nums, and you will convert or you will change your array to some other array. The output we need is we need to return the maximum possible frequency of any element in the nums after performing all the operations. Now let us see an example to understand about this. So let us say the given array nums is 1, 4, 5, k is 1, and number of operations we need to perform is 2. In this case, the output is 2, which means that 2 is the maximum possible frequency of any element in this particular array after performing the operation. As of now, we can see that the maximum possible frequency is 1. We have 1 number of time, 4 1 number of time, 5 1 number of time. So the maximum frequency we have is 1. You can get the maximum frequency of any element. You can select the maximum frequency of any element. So you don't need to just select a frequency of a particular element. You just need to focus on making a particular element having a maximum frequency. So right now all the elements have a frequency of 1, but we can perform the operations. In the first operation, I can just select this 4 and add 1 to it, and the array will become 1 5 5, right? Now if the array is 1 5 5, so the frequencies are 1 is 1 number of time, 5 is 2 number of times. The maximum frequency is 2, right? We are still allowed to perform one more operation. So we have a 5, we cannot make this third number as 5. So the next operation or the second operation we need to perform is something we can just add 0 to the number 5, and this will still be 5. We have performed two operations. Our frequencies are 1 and 2. The maximum is 2. That's the output we have. So that's what you need to do. That's the problem all about. And now let us see the solution approach of this. And we are going to understand the solution of this particular problem using this example in which we have three elements, 1, 4, and 8. The value of k is 3. It means if you perform some operation, then you can add an element within the range of -3 to +3 in your selected data or your selected element from your array. And the number of time you have to perform the operation is 2. Now, one of the things which you need to understand first is you need to focus on the frequencies, right? The elements are not the focus. 1 or 5 is not the focus. The focus is their frequencies, that how many times you can make that particular element appear in your array. Initially, we have the array as 1 4 5. I can make 5 appear 2 times by performing the operation, right? So that's the target we have. Just make sure that your element appears maximum number of times so that you have the maximum possible frequency of any element. Now, what is this any element? The simple thing to understand is if your elements are 1, 4, and 5, then the any element can be within the range of the maximum element plus k. That is, the maximum is 5, k is 1. So your any element cannot be more than 6. The reason is you cannot make any of this element more than 6. So we know that our upper limit of the element is 6. Our element can be 5, can be 1, can be 6, but not more than 6. And what is the lower bound? We just need to keep the lower bound to 0. Although you can argue that the lower bound can be less than 0. For example, if I just select the number 1 and if the value of k was 2, so we are allowed to add or subtract any element within the range of -2 to +2 to our selected data. If we select 1 and if we say that I want to say -2 to 1, this will become -1, right? Basically 1 plus -2, this will become -1. So we can have a -1 as well as a candidate, which is going to have some frequency, but still I'm saying that let's say the lower bound is 0. The upper bound is maximum plus k. The lower bound is 0. The reason is if you can have an element which is less than 0, that element will never have the highest frequency in your data, and we need to focus on the frequency, right? We need to maximize the frequency of any element. And if we know that the negative number cannot have the maximum frequency, then we should not consider them. The reason is the original numbers given will be positive. So if you can convert your number to negative, you can also convert your number to positive. But if you just ignore the negative number and consider the positive number, solving the problem using something called as prefix sum will become very easy. So let's now focus on solving the problem with this example. Now, in this example, the numbers are 1, 4, and 8. The lower bound is going to be 0. That is, our element can be 0, but will not be less than 0. Although it can be, I can just select 1 and I can perform the operation on 1 by selecting -3. And I can say 1 minus 3, this will become -2. But let's ignore it. I already explained you why, right? So let us say the lower bound is 0 and the higher or the upper bound is going to be 11. That's our element because we can select the maximum, which is 8, and we can perform the operation by adding the maximum, which is 3. So this will be 11. So our elements can be 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 11. Now we just need to find out which of this element can have the maximum frequency in our array. As of now, we have 1 number of time, we have 4 1 number of time, we have 8 1 number of time, but we have to perform the operations as well, right? Now we have to perform 2 operations. We will focus on the number of operations later on, but first of all, you need to focus on the fact that your answer will be within this range from 0 to 11. Your answer will be their frequency, but your element will be within this range from 0 to 11. Now try to understand this. If I say that 3 is going to have the highest frequency, let's just consider that 3 is going to have the highest frequency, then you have to make sure that maximum number of elements in this array becomes 3, right? Now, how can you ensure that this 1 can become a 3? If I perform an operation on 1, can you make this 1 equal to 3? Yes, because the maximum I can convert this 1 to is, I will just add 3 to 1 and this will become 4. So I can convert this to 4. If I can convert this to 4, I can definitely convert it to 3 because we have to select any element from the range of -3 to +3. So instead of selecting +3, I will just select +2. I will add 2 to 1 and this will become 3, right? I can also convert 4 to 3. The lower bound of 4 will be, or the minimum number we can convert this 4 will be 4 minus 3, that is 1. So this 4 can be converted to 1, or this 4 can be converted to a maximum of 7. I can say 4 plus 3 and this will become 7. So 4 can actually be converted to 1 to 7. So yes, it can be converted to 3 as well. So we got two numbers which can be converted to 3. Can we convert 8 to 3? No, we cannot convert 8 to 3. First of all, we are sort of operations. We have just 2 operations allowed. But let us say we have the operations allowed. We have 3 operations allowed. Still, we cannot convert 8 to 3. And the reason is the minimum we can convert 8 to will be 8 minus 3, which will be equal to 5. So you can convert an 8 to 5, but you cannot convert an 8 to 3. So given this fact, we want to create a prefix array, which is going to help us count the number of elements within a range. And I will tell you why we need this count. First of all, let's create this prefix array. Right now, I have an array from 0 to 11, and these numbers are just representing the frequencies of the element. Let's not consider the frequencies. Let's consider the range queries or the prefix sum. Basically, when we say prefix sum or the range query, what I want to say is at each element, I want to store a value which is just going to tell me how many elements do I have, which is less than or equal to 8. Not exactly 8, but all the less than elements will also be counted here. So how many elements we have less than 0? It's 0, right? So we can keep this as 0. How many elements do we have which is less than 1? It is 1, right? Less than or equal to 1, right? So it is 1. Basically, I can say 1 plus 0, this will be 1. For 2, how many elements do I have which is less than or equal to 1? Not 1, but 2. So we have one element, that is this 1, which is less than or equal to 2. So this will not be 0, this will become 1. So let me delete this and let me make this as 1. Now, similarly for 3, if you consider the 3, how many elements do you have which is less than or equal to 3? So this will be 0 plus 1, that is 1. So you have one element which is less than 3. So I can just delete this and I can make this as 1. What about 4? How many elements do you have which is less than or equal to 4? So this is 1 plus 1, which is 2. So you have 1 and 2, two elements which is less than or equal to 4. So let me delete this and let me make this as 2. Similarly, I can just do the counting for all the other elements. So let me do it quickly and I will give you one example of how this is going to help us. So now this is our range query, or this is our prefix sum. Now let us say we just want to find out how many elements do we have in this array which is within the range of 2 to 5, from 2 to 5. So one of the way is just go through the array and count the element. And one of the way will be, if you want to find out from 2 to 5, so let me just draw this from 2 to 5, then simply what you can do is you can say what's the count at 2, not 2, but what's the count at 5? It is 2, right? It means there are two elements in our array which is less than equal to 5. So I can say we have two elements which is either 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we just want to know how many elements do we have which is either 2, 3, 4 or 5, right? So I know that there are two elements which is less than equal to 5, and there are one elements which is less than equal to 1. Just before this 2, we have 1, right? We have one element which is less than equal to 1, this particular one, and we have two elements which is less than equal to 5. So I can simply say 2 minus 1. This will tell me how many elements do we have which is within the range of 2 to 5. We do not need to run a loop for this, and that is why we need the help of this prefix sum. Now let us see the next phase of solving the problem. If we have this prefix sum with us, simply what we can do is we can consider each of our element which is within the range of 0 to 11. From 0 to 11, the answer or the element which is going to have the maximum frequency. We need to count the maximum frequency for each element, and we need to see what's the maximum we have got for any of this data, and that is going to be the answer. So for example, in this case, the output is going to be 2, and there are several elements which is going to have a maximum frequency of 2, or which can have a maximum frequency of 2. Let's consider the element 7. Now, talking about 7, we do not have any 7 in this array, right? But we don't need to worry about an element which is exactly equal to 7. If I want a number which can become 7, then what can be that number? I can simply say 7 minus 3, that is 4. 4 can be the minimum number that can be considered as the number which can be converted to 7. So 4, and then we can also say 10, because I can say 7 plus 3, that is 10. So 10 can be another number which can be converted to 7. So all the number which is within the range of 4 to 10 can be converted to 7. We just need to count how many numbers we have within the range of 4 to 10. So we have 3 numbers which is less than equal to 10. We have one number which is less than equal to 3. We are considering 3 because that is just 1 less than 4. So I can say 3 minus 1, and this will be equal to 2. So there are two elements in our array which can be converted to 7. It is 4 and it is 8. So I can say the frequency of 7 can actually be 2. Similarly, we need to find out the frequency of each element, and the maximum will be your answer. But here you will have to be little bit careful in the case when your number is exactly 7. Let us say this is not 1. Let us say this is 7. Now in this case, you have three numbers which is within the range of 4 to 10, right? We have from 4 to 10, all these three numbers, 7, 4 and 8. So I know that the frequency can be 3, right? The frequency will be 3. But if you select the element as 7 and 4 on which you want to perform the operation, then the frequency will be 2, right? If you want to convert the 7 to 7 and 4 to 7, then your frequency will be 2, because you didn't converted this 8 to 7. So you should not consider the element which is exactly equal to 7, right? So the actual frequency which can be converted to 7 will be all the elements which is not equal to 7 but within the range of 4 to 10, right? Now, how do you find out how many elements do you have which is exactly equal to 7? Then you can simply say the number of elements you have which is less than equal to 7 minus the number of elements which is less than equal to 6. Now, you also need to consider the number of operations as well. Let us say the number of elements you have within the range of 4 to 10 is 100, but the number of operations allowed is 2. So you have to ensure that you add only 2 more elements to your frequency, because although you have 100 elements within this range which can be converted to 7, you are only allowed to perform 2 operations, right? So keeping all these things in mind, let's actually start solving the problem, and solving the problem will be easy. We just need to follow all the steps we have discussed. So the first step will be to find out the maximum element to create our prefix array. So maximum will equal to max of nums, right? So max of nums here is 8, right? If you see here, max of nums is 8. We want the max as 11, right? So I can say max of nums plus k. And also let us say plus 1, and that is because we have to create an array of size 12. These are our 11 elements, and then we have this 0 as well, right? So plus 1. Now let's create a variable count, which is going to be our prefix sum or the range query array. So we can say as of now all the elements are 0, and the number of elements we are going to have is maximum, or the number of elements in this count will be maximum. Then I can just say for n in nums, first of all I need to do the exact counting. So I can say count of n will be plus equal to 1, and then I need to convert my array count to the prefix sum array, which is going to help us in range queries. So I can say for I in the range of 1 to maximum, count of I can actually be equal to count of I minus not minus but plus count of I minus 1. So basically you can say if you want to find out for this will be equal to 1 plus 1. That will tell you how many elements do you have which is less than equal to I. And now we just need to find out the answer. So let us create a variable which is result equal to 0. And I can say for I in the range of 1 to maximum, let's consider each of our element. So I can say 1 to 11, right? In this example, 1 to 11. Let's consider each element which can have the maximum frequency. And now let's find out the left and right data which can be converted to the number I. So the left data, the leftmost data will be equal to max of either it will be 0 or I minus k. Your current element, every index is your current element, right? These are all the indexes. So every element that is your index. So I minus k, that's the minimum number which can be converted back to I. But we should ensure that our number is not less than 0. And the maximum number can be right, which is equal to min, the minimum of maximum minus 1 and I plus k. I plus k means any number can be converted to I if it is I plus k or less than that. But you have to ensure that your element should not exceed the maximum size. So maximum minus 1. And now let's find out how many total elements we have which is within this range of left to right. So I can say count of right minus count of left minus 1. But this left minus 1 can actually become less than 0 at a time. If the value of left is 0, then this will become negative, right? So we have to ensure that if this becomes negative, if this index becomes negative, then make it 0, right? So I can say leftmost is equal to max of left minus 1 comma 0, and just take this as your index leftmost, right? Now this is going to give you the count of how many elements can actually be converted back to I. And you also need to find out how many elements you have which is exactly equal to I. So you can say that frequency will be equal to count of I minus count of I minus 1, right? And then the exact result will be equal to the max value of result comma the current frequency, how many elements which is equal to 7, how many elements you have which is right now equal to 7 or right now equal to I. So you can say frequency plus how many elements you have which can be converted to I. So this will be total minus frequency. I'm saying total minus frequency. This is because you should not try to convert the existing element which is equal to 7 or I back to I. So we have to just consider the element which can be converted back to I but not equal to the element itself. So that will be total minus frequency. But we have to ensure that this value is within the range of num operations or number of operations we are allowed to perform, right? So I can simply say frequency plus minimum of num operations and total frequency minus the frequency. This is the current count of our element I, and this is the other numbers. These are the other numbers which can be converted back to I. And whatever is the maximum frequency, we are storing it in the value of result. And now we can simply say return the result. I think they should pass all the test cases. Let me just submit this and wait for the result. So what we got right now is an error because, okay, so this is just a small casing error. I wrote this as uppercase. So let me just make it as lowercase as well. And now let me submit this. So now you can see we have solved all the test cases. And the runtime is really good. The memory used is really good as well. So we have solved this problem in a very efficient way. So I think that's it for this video, guys. If this video has helped you to understand something, then make sure that you hit that like button. And if you are not subscribed to my channel as of now, then make sure that you do so. And I will see you guys in the next video. I want to see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching this one.